Joe Biden right now is hatching some scheme to attack Medicaid after running, by the way, on a public option, which has completely disappeared off of the public agenda, right? Extremely popular. We know how much Medicare expansion is enormously popular. Bernie wanted to expand it to include hearing, vision, and dental. These are easy peasy issues to run on.
Well, if you tell people that you're going to give them free stuff, they say, sure, I like that stuff. I mean...
Yes, because they need it. They need
but it's
it.
not free. Nothing is free.
No, you tax the rich for it.
You tax the middle class for it. I mean, you can tax the rich 100% and you're not going to have enough to pay for Medicare for all.
The two corporate parties tend to tax the middle class for things because they're the rich and they don't want to tax the rich. Why do we have these conversations in a country where why should it be unpopular to have a wealth tax on the top, like 1% of 1% of Americans? Why? That should be a no-brainer. We live in a real democracy and you have millionaires and billionaires. I think billionaires increased their wealth by 30% in the context of this depressionary event we just went through. They increased their wealth by 30%. And we can't get a basic wealth tax. Elon Musk is saying casually, let's spend $40 billion to buy Twitter on a lark. And that doesn't even put a dent in his earnings. He's increased his earnings by, I think, more than $40 billion in the context of the pandemic.
He's not entitled to become rich.
Oh, he's entitled to become rich.
Did he do something wrong to get the money? Now, if he did something wrong, take the money away. What did he do? Let's take the money from him.
My friend.
He rigged the market? Well, that's against the law.
Well, some people think that is why he wants Twitter, because you can inflate stock prices by controlling what the press is about a certain event.
I don't know enough about that to comment.
Okay. I mean, neither do I.
I'm just saying this idea of millionaires and billionaires. I mean, I hear it a lot.
So where do you think the money comes from?
I hear it over breakfast in the morning.
Where do you think the money comes from?
I mean, people are in business. 30%? They're doing various things. Their investments pay off and so forth and so. They're not robbing people. They're not stealing it. Capitalism is theft. That's a kind of passe.
I don't think it's
I'm not persuaded of that.
Okay.
I mean, in fact, I think that's the idea that'll leave us all in poverty at the end of the day. There won't be any reason for anybody to do anything. As soon as they stick their head up above ground, it'll get chopped off by the levelers.
So you said his investments are doing well. What if I never have enough money to have an investment? Why does it? So he started his company. I think his people were diamond miners or something kind of horrible in South Africa. That's where his family money comes from, right? And he, just like Donald Trump and a lot of other folks, got their small $1 million investment from their parents and made it into a lot more money than that, for sure. But I don't know about you, but I didn't get $1 million. There's no $1 million investment coming my way.
No, life is not fair. I agree. Some people are born with nothing and they have a tough road to hoe. Some people get a head start. I agree.
So his parents, who got their money by living in an apartheid system and literally exploiting. I mean, that's South Africa, man. I'm not making that up.
No.
It's not ancient history. It's like the 80s.
Yeah.
Exploiting people. They get money. He's able to invest it and he's able to be multi-billionaire, the richest man on earth or whatever. I'm just trying to understand why that's earned.
And you want to confiscate his wealth because his parents were South Africans?
No, I want to confiscate. I don't want to confiscate his wealth. For one, I think that there's an amount of money. I think I'm not going to waste any tears. There's literally zero impact on Elon Musk's ability to do anything or buy anything in the entire world that comes from me taxing him at a higher tax rate.
It's his money.
I actually don't.
Yeah, the state's going to come in and decide.
Are you against taxes altogether? Are you against taxes altogether?
Oh, no.
Okay, so we believe in the principle that the state should be able to take some of everybody's money in order to make sure the state is well run and social services are provided.
Now we're talking about millionaires and billionaires. We're singling out people who've been extraordinarily successful.
No.
And we're socializing their property in effect. They go out, they buy the company. The company goes up in value 10 times because they were lucky or they were shrewd or both. Now they're sitting on a pile of money and we decide, oh, you're rich. You've got so much. Let's... because there are people in the world who don't have enough to eat. And I'm saying that idea, when it gets embedded into government, into the power of law, and into the instruments of, in effect, confiscation, will kill the golden goose that's making us all prosperous by drying up the incentives of people to go out and do things.
I have two questions.
Yeah.
If I make $50,000 a year and I pay 30% in taxes, should Elon Musk, who makes $200 billion a year, I'm sorry, I don't actually know the number, but I think it's something around there, $2 billion, should he also have to pay the 30% in taxes.
I'm going to have to say not necessarily, because we're talking about labor income is taxed differently from.
Well, let's just pretend it's the same. Let's just pretend he earns a salary of $200 billion a year, just for the simplicity of this. If I earn $50,000 a year, we all understand that out of that, I have to have food, shelter, pay for childcare, maybe pay for education. All of those kinds of things come out of that pot. And there's like a base standard of living. My Maslow's hierarchy of needs had to be met.
Yes.
Within that sum. I would put to you that there's a certain amount of money over which I think Elon Musk's hierarchy of needs are more than enough taken care of. And I don't know what number you would put it at. Maybe it's at $1 billion. Maybe it's at $10 billion. Maybe it's at $40 billion.
You just decided how much he should be happy
No, I
with.
didn't. I said whatever number you would put it at. But I would put to you that most human beings would agree.
If I have more than what you decide that I need, or what anybody decides that I need, then the state should be able to come in and take it.
No, the state should be able to tax you, just like it does now. The state has already decided that. The state, people who make, less than $20,000, there's a number under which people don't get taxed. They've already, I'm not reinventing the wheel. This is already true.
Paid by a relative few taxpayers.
Well, because most people can barely afford a $400 emergency. Right. It's not because they're slackers. It's because they're poor.
Let me agree with you that we could tax the rich more, and that it would be a fair,
and that it would be a fair
system. I'm just playing devil's advocate here a little bit.